The latest rumor about the Doctor Who Centenary special is... Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is huge. Mm-hmm. According to, in quotation marks, an alleged insider at the BBC,
of course,
end quote, the Centenary special is apparently titled Dry. According to the source, Dry is a reference to a line in the Coldplay song Yellow that Jodie will sing herself and have played over during her regeneration scene. There's a lot to unpack there. A lot. Okay. So, firstly, Dry. Mm-hmm. I could not possibly imagine that being okayed as a name.
A ridiculous episode name.
So, especially for like a big finale, you know?
And a centenary.
Yeah.
100th celebration of the BBC.
Yeah, let's call it Dry.
Call it Dry. Okay, great. All right, let's do that.
So, let's call bullshit on point number 1.
Yeah.
Point number 2, that Jodie Whittaker's rendition of Yellow is going to... Okay, it doesn't specifically say. It says Jodie will sing it herself. Is this implying that she's going to be, like, singing as she regenerates? She's like,
I guess
it's
so.
all yellow.
Well, I think this rumor might spur from the fact that a while ago when the BBC did that whole Children in Need thing, they did, Jodie Whittaker did, like, a song where she sang Yellow. She's a big fan of Coldplay.
Huge
like
fan.
Myself.
Yes.
I'm a bigger fan than Jodie. I am. I'm just making
Weird
that
flex,
clear.
but okay.
Still waiting for them to come to Perth, by the way. But yeah, look, the only thing I can see possibly being true is maybe a synth version of Yellow, maybe playing a little bit in the background, but I still think it's a load of shit.
I think
complete shit.
Jodie, she's not singing it live on the episode. That's out the fucking window. That's just not happening.
This is so funny. I love it.
I don't think there's a possibility of her version of it being played in the episode. I think that would just be weird and jarring, right? To see her regenerating, not talking or anything.
And the Children Need version of her song playing.
I think that would be weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think the most likely thing is this is bullshit, and I'm 99% sure this is complete and utter bullshit. Because I could just see Zygon Inversion doing the best version of 13's theme he's ever done. He said that
he even said that he did.
The last thing he scored was a rendition of 13's theme.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, maybe there is a possibility that the original Coldplay version could be used, just because Chibnall has used, especially in season 11, a lot of, like, you know, he ended Rosa with that "Rise Up."
Yes, and it is her favorite song. So
yeah, Jodie's favorite song, and I could definitely see that happening
being used.
But as for like her version of it and stuff like that, so bollocks, and the whole thing. This whole thing is probably bollocks. I just thought it was a funny way to start the show.
If you could pick a song to be in your final episode, what would you pick?
Am I regenerating? Or
am I
writing
song would you pick? So if Jodie picked Yellow by Coldplay, who would you pick?
As I'm regenerating.
Do you want me to say mine while you're thinking?
Yeah, go on. Have you thought deeply about this?
No, I just randomly just thought of it then, but I have thought in the past what song I would play if, like, the inedible was about to happen.
Yeah.
And I would pick Since I Left You by the Avalanches from that album. Gotcha. Since I Left You. Like, I would pick that. That shit's playing at my funeral, by the way. So please attend that.
I'll note that. I might do a live stream for it.
He'll be filming it.
So, okay, a few things come to mind. One, a moving song that's also like upbeat that I quite like. And of course, it's me, the Wombat song, Emoticons. Jigs. But a lot of Wombat songs are always so like intertwined with girls and that like romance emotion. So maybe not for if I'm regenerating. Two other choices. One is Heroes. Just
David Bowie.
Probably not the Bowie version. Probably like both times Stranger Things has used Heroes.
It's German
been
version.
Quite good. From Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
No, but there's like a lot of different versions. Like Gang of Youths has done a version of it where it's just like slow and it's just nice. And I think something like that would be a nice change for a regeneration, especially my own.
Your own regeneration.
My own
doctor,
regeneration.
I see. And
the last one, and Dylan's going to make fun of us because they love it when we reference Macklemore on the show.
Glorious.
But
I feel glorious.
No, but I've always thought growing up. Was it growing up or growing up?
Yeah, growing up, yeah.
I've always loved that song, and it's so like good for
Wait, why does Dylan not like we mention Macklemore?
Because they just know that it's not well, Macklemore's a very like white boy rapper. All right, I'm gonna just throw that out there.
He is. No, I agree, but I also think that he, I think he's earned his credit. Even the way he stands up for gay marriage and Black Lives Matter and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people a lot of rappers, like white rappers, wouldn't give a fuck about that kind of thing. So I respect that about him. And we're actually seeing him live in November.
We were just talking about this off air.
I'll be Snapchatting Dylan like, look
how good Macklemore is. Number one.
He is.
Macklemore number one fan. All right,
That's
so
me.
we're the 50% Doctor Who podcast. My name's Aiden.
I'm Conor.
This is
Hi,
we should probably
everybody.
start shows like this more often, where we introduce ourselves for if there is any new listeners out there.
People are like, who are these two goons?
Who are these?
Who are these two twats?
I don't know who this guy is. But what we do is we talk about Doctor Who every single week. Well, most of the time. Sometimes we talk about Torchwood.
Every week, man.
Every week. Painful stuff. Today, we're talking about a wonderful... I'm very curious to know what you're going to think of these two episodes.
Oh, God. Your reaction didn't sound very nice. Oh, God. No, don't do that.
Well, we'll see. We'll get to it.
No.
We'll get to it.
No.
All right, so we got this 2-part episode with Maisie Williams.
Shit.
And the woman who died and the girl who lived. Oh, the girl who died, the woman who lived, right?
Correct, yeah.
Sorry, forgive me. And
You're
there's
not forgiven.
a lot of hot debate about whether or not we should review this as a 2-parter or a
Hot
single.
debate.
One, yeah.
Is that pun
We'll get into
intended?
that.
Is that pun
The
intended?
hot debate part will come back soon. But
Yeah.
you mentioned, do we do it as single part, like for the podcast, or we just record 2 separate episodes, or do it as one?
We had quite a drunken rant about this after we filmed our 100th episode. We were sat we were sat on cricket nets.
Very much a
Drunk
drunken
as skunks.
rant. I don't remember this.
I was like out the bit. I was like, hey, when we review, this was like we just reviewed the 50th. It's like, hey, when we reviewed the Maisie Williams party, we're going to do it in 1 part or 2 part, like 1 part. And I was like, nah, let's do it in 2.
Well, it ends.
Let's get more episodes. And you're like, no, we'll do it in 1. I'm like, Aiden, let's do it in 2.
Well, look.
You're like, no, let's do it in 1. I'm like, no, mate. He just went back and forth like a fucking tennis match.
So you messaged me a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Are we going to review that as 1 part or a 2-part?
I didn't know how many I needed to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, we'll do it as a 2-part. We'll do it in 1 episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
And I watched part 1 and I was like, oh, actually, you know what? We could do this as 2 separate ones. Mm-hmm. And then I watched part 2 and I was like, I really don't have a lot to say about these episodes. So I'm more than happy to do it in 1 part.
Yeah, after rewatching them, I actually do think it's appropriate to actually talk about them in 2 parts. And I actually kind of forgot a lot about them. So when I was
think it's appropriate to talk about them as a 2-parter or in 2 separate episodes?
in 1 episode.
Right,
I actually think it's actually pretty funny to talk about them in 1 episode because, yeah, I guess I can't... It's a lot I forgot about these episodes.
Yes,
So,
same.
to actually talk about them all in 1 episode is actually pretty interesting. Because it's not necessarily a, like... It kind of is a sequel, but it's the same director each episode.
Different writer?
But different writer.
Yeah.
Different writer.
We'll get into that shortly. What we're going to be talking about today, like we said, girl who died, woman who lived, and a whole bunch of other lovely stuff.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah,
We're going to get into some
I'm nervous.
some spicy content for you.
God.
We are the 50% Doctor Who podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, and you can subscribe to the 50% Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel.
Nearly got it.
And watch our
50,
faces.
50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50%. Podcast.
This guy.
Live.
This
on the
guy.
air.
You're always like, people make fun of me when I say words, and they, I'm trying to run a
used
show.
to be offended.
I'm trying to.
I used to be offended.
I'm trying to run the show here. All right, I'm
used
keeping us
to
on
be
track.
offended.
Got a timer here.
Now I'm used to every comment under the sun. So thanks for our lovely comment section.
I'm very curious. Someone replied in a comment to a video the other day. Milk.
What does that mean? Because I know the video and I was like, I think sometimes people just reply the most random shit.
It was milk.
Milk, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Sometimes people comment stuff and I don't know what they're talking about. Like I literally don't.
There's a video.
Please elaborate.
There's a video where you should comment that. Please elaborate on milk.
Yeah. Please elaborate on milk.
There's a video where we didn't talk about Chibnall at all, I don't think. And there's no reference to Chibnall, to Brazzera, or Jodie, and someone commented like,
Oh God.
I hate Chris Chibnall. I hate him for everything he's done in Doctor Who. And I'm like, man, like...
My brother in Christ. We didn't even mention him.
Why are
in this
you
video.
targeting the man? Like, you hate him. We didn't even talk about him.
Yeah, it's such a funny, like, it used to, like, really... I've been on record saying this. I actually started, like, when I first started going on antidepressants, like, my last push was because of, like, YouTube comment sections. It just scared me so much.
Right.
And I guess this is actually a plus of antidepressants, because it literally doesn't bother me that much anymore. I literally don't care that much anymore. Like, very rare. Like, sometimes when I see something like that kind of hurts, but I'm like, that's actually pretty funny. Like,
yeah.
It actually doesn't bother me anywhere near as much as it used to. And I think that's a big win. Like, it actually barely bothers me at all.
Yeah.
It's pretty...
We had
Crazy.
a video. It was a clip from the podcast where we were reviewing Attack of the Cybermen, and we were talking with Josh, and they were telling us about how
Yes.
Doctor Who, got a little bit violent in season 22, right?
I thought it was a good clip.
And so we Connor made a clip out of it to post as a separate video on the channel. And someone comments maybe you should watch the whole fucking season before you talk about it being too violent. And I was like, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't the point though is that I haven't actually seen them all? I think that's
Yeah,
the dynamic is that I haven't
think-
seen much and you'd seen quite a bit and Josh has seen most of it, and I think that was the kind of dynamic is that we had all these different opinions. But
Yeah,
this
and I
fucking
think
came
you're
on
also.
and just watched a clip.
I think obviously
How dare he?
to an extent you're allowed to have an opinion on something without having seen it all. And I only say I think you can from watching one episode, but obviously you don't want to be too harsh not knowing how it goes down the line. Anyways, that's sidetrack. Should we get into a bit of spicy, a bit of hot spicy?
Well,
stuff?
you're
going first. Man.
You're going first. So, how do you feel about this? We mentioned it a bit. We mentioned it last week.
Yeah, at the very end of last week. So a little bit terrified, a little
We
bit
were meant
spooked.
to do it last week, but we forgot. So,
What we've got here
we
is
go.
the world's hottest corn chips. Wow, we were. So
people must have seen these because these are even I knew what these were.
Yeah, I hadn't. My girlfriend bought me a bunch of spicy things because I like spice for our anniversary a couple months back actually, and I tried these, and I was like, I can't. I can do so much spice, but not this shit. And it's made me think am I all that? Am I all that in terms of my spice love? I also know that Conor is a big spice lover.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah,
So what we're gonna do today is
love spicy.
we're gonna briefly. I'm gonna give a summary of what happens in the girl who died.
Yeah.
And then, while in the process, I'm gonna have a bit of a nibble on
couple
this
of nibbles.
spicy chip.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna see how that goes, just to spice it up a little bit, And then once we finish that, Connor's gonna do the same. He's gonna talk about part 2 of the episode. So we
So
basically
I'm
have
gonna do
to.
women who died. Aiden's gonna do the girl who lived.
We've got to summarize the episodes whilst we have this spicy chip, and it's
Sorry, Aiden's gonna do girl who
scared.
died. I'm gonna do women who lived. These
That's
fucking
right.
episode names. I can't even get them
bullshit.
right.
Not to be confused with the girl who waited, the woman who
Yes.
fell to earth.
Oh God. You've done this before, so are you nervous to try again?
I'm a little bit nervous. I've done this before, so I kind of know what I'm getting into, so that's why I'm going first. And then we're going to build up the hype for Conor to do it, because I really don't know how Conor's going to react, because he's always like, I love spice. Nothing
Yeah,
can
I'm
faze me.
gonna do a full one.
You're going to do a full one?
I'm gonna do a full one.
I'm probably not going to make it through a full one. I'm going to be completely honest. These are...
But my reason is, if I do a full one, that way, I know if I take a little bite like you, I'm gonna know how much it's gonna be hot.
Right.
I won't want to finish the whole thing. So if I do it all in one, at least it's gone, and I will be like, okay, it's gone now. I just have to deal with the spice. If you said, I know you're not going to do the full thing, but if you had a little nibble and you went, I have to do the whole thing, you're like, fuck, this is terrible, and I have to
Right.
finish all this. So if I chuck it in, the idea, I filmed the Bones video, I had to eat a habanero chili, and the idea for me was just bite it, chew it, get it enough to go down my mouth, swallow it, done. At least it's gone, all right?
Right.
You get the shits tomorrow, and that's good. But
Yeah.
that's
Well,
it.
another thing I should say, I was telling Conor today, I put spicy salt on my toasties for lunch today, and then I had a really spicy green curry for dinner just before doing this. So I can
cooking
literally
it all day with spice. And
I can
Aiden's
literally
like,
feel
"Hit
in
me
my
up."
tummy right now, that spicy feeling already. So, God, I might shit myself live on air. It's
Perfect.
about an hour into the pod. I'm gonna be like, oh no,
Oh
Conor.
shit.
Literally. Oh
Yes.
shit! All right, let's have a final swig of happiness.
I've heard. I made a mistake of watching a few people do it. So
That's a
I've
big
heard
mistake.
it actually even smells quite.
Spicy.
Yeah, it hits you
Oh, now I'm getting scared.
I kind of don't want to know. I had to watch this fucking do it first, and then I had to take a whole one.
So I got to talk about the girl who died, right? Mm-hmm. The girl who died. All right. Mm-hmm. I've got my selected chip. Mm-hmm. It looks good. Look like a good chip.
Yep.
Oh, I feel like I can already feel
It looks normal. That's the weird part.
it. Well, my plan is when my mates come over, I'm going to mix them up in some
yeah,
Doritos.
you can stitch your mates up
Yeah.
easily.
Good
Yeah.
plan. All right. I'll do a decent sized bite into this one, okay?
All right. I
I'm
respect
so not
it.
ready for this. Shit. I'm so not
keen to
ready.
watch this.
Okay.
All right. ASMR.
So, yeah, ASMR. So, the girl who died is an episode. It's got Maisie Williams in there, right? She kind of is in the background of part 1, right? Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. It takes a while to build up in your mouth. She's kind of in the background of part 1, And as it... and there's like Viking shit going on.
Yeah.
Odin's flying up in the sky. They're like... There's a ship that they're taking the Vikings. I'm handling this okay. I want to say that.
Good.
This is a much better experience than my previous time.
Good.
I'm going to have another bite.
What? Wow! Look at it go!
The Vikings and shit. And the Vikings are like capturing... Is it the Micra? Is that what they're called? The robot things?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's kicking in now, baby.
Okay.
I'm losing my tongue.
Okay.
I'm losing my tongue.
Okay. Alright.
But... And I don't even know what the fuck happens in this episode. They're in a barn.
Is that because of the spice? Or
I
'cause you
don't
can't
know.
speak?
I can't remember it because I don't think it's a very good episode. Maybe them just fuck all. I think it starts kind of interesting. Fuck me, my tongue. Hold on.
How does gin help with the spice?
Gin, temporary relief.
Yeah, and then
I might as well finish today.
you might as well. Well done, Aiden.
Not as bad as in the past.
Okay, good. But
Maybe it's because I had a lot of spice today already. It's like,
okay,
got me ready for it. Fuck me.
Okay.
It is rough though.
okay. This is kind of worrying me a little bit. Fuck
No,
it
I
up.
thought I was going to be worse.
Okay.
I did not think I was going to make it through that.
Okay. Okay.
How good was my review, my synopsis for this episode?
Is that it? You done?
A serpent comes in at the end. Oh, it's getting a bit worse.
The Benny Hill theme's pretty funny.
The Benny Hill theme, I told you about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Should I do my one now?
But it ends,
Yeah.
a shoulder dies,
Yeah.
and they put a chip in her head.
A corn chip.
A corn chip, the spiciest corn chip in the world. So spicy it keeps her alive forever.
The spice keeps on.
And she becomes immune.
Jesus,
And
that's really hitting it. That's really hitting it.
And then the doctor's like, fuck, what have I done? Which is also how I'm feeling right now.
Oh, God.
And yeah, now he has to spend an eternity looking after a shoulder.
This is kind of worrying me now. I kind of wish I did mine first.
Okay, alright. I think it got bad for a second there.
Alright. This is a good way to get drunk. Just you finish all your drinks.
Yeah, that
you
gym
just-
went down very quick, didn't it?
Can I just say quickly, like, I don't know if you know this from school, but I don't eat chips or crisps or anything.
Right, yeah.
I
Sorry
don't.
about that.
So doing this for the show, I've always had a weird phobia of these foods.
Of chips.
It's like about eating them makes me feel sick. So not only am I conquering extreme spice today, am I also conquering a fear of being sick. ×2.
It's a struggle, man. I'm
Yeah?
still struggling, yeah.
Should I do it?
Well, how do you think my review went? Because it was a bit shit.
How do I think it went? I think
Yeah.
you did your best considering. I mean, how can I judge when I'm about to be in the same shoes as you? Like, can I really judge?
If you didn't know I just had a really spicy chippy, how would you feel?
Oh, definitely rush, but I mean, like, normally people give a quick sip noctis of something.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, like, you know, like they give a quick sip noctis. Is the point. You know, we're not here.
I'm not here all day.
We know people have seen it. Otherwise, why are you here? Watch us eat this shit.
Go watch this shit episode.
That'd be funny if people are here to watch us eat this and they're like, why are they talking about a kid's show? You know.
What's this Doctor Who?
What's this Doctor shit about?
Oh, it's not going too well in my tummy.
Fuck, you're scaring me a bit now. Because I'm going to do it all in one go. Because I think, do you know what I mean now by you did 3 bites? Even that might have made it worse.
No, I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to both ways.
Because it all hits you at once, I guess. And yours going to hit you over like 3 consecutive hits. But I'm about to get hit hard by like a
Full front of
by
spicy
full
shit.
frontal fucking spice. It's about to hit me.
Go on it. You have your first bite or your full bite, and then start to talk to us about the girl who died, woman who lived. Sorry.
All right. By the way, don't they say like don't touch your eyes and shit?
Yeah, don't. You'll get fucked up from it. The worst part is when you're struggling from the spice, which you will.
Will I?
I have to try and fill the dead air.
Okay.
So, but I'm not. My tongue is like literally on fire still.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay.
50% forever, baby.
All right, let's go.
I feel like I can feel my mouth is swollen.
Yeah. No shit.
It does take a while to kick in as well.
No, I bet.
So, you just take a mo, soak it in. You want to start talking about
Alright,
the episode?
Gone.
It's gone all the way down the throat.
Gone.
Damn.
All right. Women who died. Holy shit. It's okay. I feel it. Women who died. All right. A shielder is out there the doctor's like, oh fuck, you know, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
He arrives at a place. Clara's not there. She's taking the children to quite taekwondo.
Taekwondo, yep.
And yeah, he hears screaming and shit, and goes out. He finds a shoulder. She's robbing someone. She's looking for a diamond. And a cat's there with her. Not a cat, it's a lion. Holy shit, that's pretty hot. Woo, baby! Holy shit.
Yeah!
Oh, fuck.
Isn't it called Leonardo? Is that his name?
DiCaprio? Woo! Oh, baby. Okay. And the doctor fucking... Oh, shit.
It's rough. It's rough, man.
The doctor goes and sees her. He's like, I wasn't actually looking for you. It's just a misunderstanding. Takes her back to her fucking house. I'm going to rob this gem. Goes to the person's house, try and rob it. Unsuccessful. And they go back to her house. Like, we need to kill someone and open up this portal. And the doctor meets that fucking cat person. And he's like, Ashilda, don't do it. You're making a huge mistake.
You're doing much better than me at this point, by the way.
And thank you. You're making a huge mistake. And then fucking Sam Swift is about to get hung.
Not Sam Swift.
And they go to him getting hung. They save him. But it's like, fuck it. And then she chucks it on Sam Swift. Portal opens. Shit comes out. The little fucking lion runs. And then they save the day. They have some beers. Captain Jack gets mentioned. Back to the TARDIS. Clara comes back. Episode ends. Oh, actually, you get to see a shoulder in a terrible zoom of a photo. And that's about it.
Well done. Yeah, well done, Conor. You did way better than me. At the spice and also the talk.
Thank you.
I completely forgot to mention Peter Capaldi's involvement in my episode.
Yes.
And how he sees his reflection, and David Tennant pops up. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
That's all interesting.
They
How do you
finally
find the
mentioned
spicy ship there, Conor? You
kind
of in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, not as bad as I thought. I might do one at the end.
Oh, God.
If you allow, if that's okay, they are yours.
Mate, no, definitely. That's probably the last time I'll have one.
I mean, not to sound like a twat, but, you know, I did grow up with dad making curries all the time, like, kind of used to spice.
Well,
yeah,
you sound like a twat now.
That shit is fucking hot.
That was hot. And a lovely extra challenge there to do the episode. Talk about the episode and the process, right?
Oh. Yeah, that shit was hot, hey. Fuck.
I liked watching like you eat. And then, yeah, I just like watching you eat.
Oh, yeah?
No, I liked watching you eat. And then the water like run into your eyes.
Yeah.
Like your eyes just wash over.
Definitely. Fuck, it's more your tongue. That
Yeah, it
feels
is. Yeah.
It's your tongue that cops the worst. Everything else is kind of okay, but like, my tongue is what feels the fucking pain.
Well, now my tummy is feeling it. The tum-tum. It's got it rough.
I think I kind of had a good idea with the whole eat quick. You know, when I first did it, I was like, I've beaten the game.
I'm a shielder. I'm immortal.
I'm immortal. Like, I got to the point where I was like, fuck, I've done this. Turns out, no. Fuck.
Was there a bit of news for us to talk about this week? Other than what we talked about at the start of the show?
Yeah, there was a director, last name Strong.
James Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who said he got asked if he was going to return to Doctor Who under Ross T. Davis, and an interesting comment that he made was that he said, I'd be lying if we haven't spoken about it. Which kind of gives the impression that, you know, maybe there have been some chats about, you know, old directors return to Doctor Who.
And he's coming back.
He kind of implied he's not coming back now, but he could very much so come back.
Like season 14 or something.
Yeah, who we assume will be under Russell. Right? I was thinking today, we don't even know how long Russell's gonna stay for. I hope
Totally.
for the majority of Shooty's era, probably the whole thing, hopefully. But
So James Strong, big director in the RTD era, directed Impossible Planet, The Satan Pit, Smith and Jones. Apparently this was uncredited. Partial contribution of overseeing one day's filming, so he didn't really do Smith and Jones.
okay,
Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks, Voyage of the Damned, Partners in Crime, Partner of the Dead. So some solid episodes, or at least solidly directed episodes in there. Some of them don't have the best scripts.
yeah,
But yeah, and he's expressed interest, and not just interest, he said,
yeah.
you know, it's
They'd
been a
be
two-way
lying if they
conversation.
haven't. That is an interesting comment, I think.
It is a very interesting comment, and I don't know, I think it's... Maybe we could see some returning directors like we've always bloody wanted, right?
I respect the fact that they actually, he actually was just like, look, I'd be lying if I said we haven't spoken about it.
Exactly.
So, that gives me a lot of hope. But again, it means like
False hope.
we could be false hope, yeah.
Yeah.
A Euros Lynn, a Graham Harper.
Who knows? The future is anywhere, man.
We've already had fuck's sake. I feel like if I ever clip this, we're gonna be like
Rachel Tlale.
struggling to talk, and I'm like, why the fuck?
Yeah,
why the hell are they struggling to
about?
talk? Yeah, Rachel Tlale.
The exact quote is, "I had such an amazing time on it. I'd be lying if I said there hadn't been more conversations. I love Russell and Julie and Phil, who are doing it so much. So yes, I would be very keen to discuss a way that we could do that. That would be great." So James Strong could be back at some point for more Doctor Who.
Wow.
How good.
I actually like his episodes, so I would not be opposed at all.
Yeah.
For him to come back.
They all definitely have some kind of like visual flair, like especially Planet of the Dead. Like maybe it's because they got that awesome like location filming and things like that. Also, Torchwood, is that what you're looking at? Peeking over?
Yes, he did some torture as well.
He did Cyberwoman, and they keep killing Susie.
Aiden's favourite, Cyberwoman.
I love that episode so much. Also known for directing Broadchurch as well.
Yes.
So a bit of Broadchurch.
He also did Grace Point as well.
Oh,
The American remake.
American Broadchurch.
With DT. And Anna Gunn, who played Skylar
What a gun.
in Breaking Bad, which is hilarious.
I think I'm over the spice.
Good.
I think I've conquered it. Defeated it. Yas Queen Slay. How are you feeling?
Oh, I've had this beer. It's disgusting. My mum left me like a 6-pack.
Of goat.
But it's like, it's IPA. Which is awful because I want to chug the beer when I'm like, struggling with spice. So I'm like, my mouth hurts and now this tastes gross. And you know what I'm saying, dog?
Mate, that's why it's gin o'clock today. Okay, so let's talk about episode 1 a little bit. All right.
I'm getting the feeling you didn't like these episodes.
Well, look, and I said this in the first episode of season 9 of the podcast. I said I've always stood up for season 9. I've known it's not fantastic. I know it's not even great, but I've always thought it's a fun romp of some big two-parters.
Yeah.
First 2 episodes disappointed me. Didn't give a shit about them when I watched them.
Yeah.
3 and 4, pleasantly surprised by, quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
5 and 6, pretty unengaged.
Really? Okay.
I kind of watched it and I was like, I'm so bored. Like, I really don't care. And I've always thought, previous experience, what did I think back in 2015 about these episodes? I thought that part 1 was shit and one of the worst episodes of Who. And then part 2, I always thought was actually pretty solid and I always stood up for. I enjoyed part 1 this time in the same way that I enjoyed In the Forest of the Night previously.
Okay.
So, like, I think it kind of looked a bit pretty, and that was some, like, alright directing. Yeah. But it was shit as an episode, but the humor was good. And it was, like, quite funny to watch.
It was actually quite funny,
It was a funny episode, I thought. Like, Pete gets some good lines, and, yeah, visually it was interesting. I thought there was some, like, there's that cool top-down. It's kind of like a Breaking Bad style shot.
Right.
Where it's almost like they put a GoPro on the top of the door as the door's, like, you know, like the...
When they did the whole, like...
They're pushing against the door as the walls are closing in.
Like,
kind of like in the Death Star in Star Wars when the walls close in. That's it. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Trash compactor. Maisie Williams did like fuck all in this episode. Well, she got like a couple of scenes at the end that were good. Like when she had one scene, I think with Peter, right? We're in the bar and she's talking about how she makes the...
I will kill Odin. It's really cringe.
And there's like, I don't know. I thought it was like kind of fun.
No, I felt these whole episodes kind of cringe.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what I liked about it, though.
Okay. What did you think of the big snake delivery boy coming in? I thought that was kind of good CGI, I thought.
That's the weird thing about it. The CGI is actually kind of cool. But yeah, I think that's a good way to kind of like summarize my thoughts is that I really do think like Maisie's character is kind of cringe.
Yeah.
But I do actually, very much like you, I found the first episode back when I first watched this season after being so excited for it. I found this season to be quite of a letdown so far, even though I enjoyed episodes 3 and 4. Sorry. Fuck. Sorry.
What did I tell you about burping into the microphone?
It's still
Conor?
killing me.
Yeah.
I found it quite boring and just didn't like it, and I was really keen for the Zygon 2-parter. I was like, let's get these episodes out of the way.
Yeah, which is how I feel now as well.
But I tell you what, I went into I think I went to did I start it at Kim's house? I know I might have started at mine, and then I went to Kim's house and she was making dinner, and I was like, look, do you mind if I just chuck it on? I was like, I think it's a shite episode, but I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of enjoying it.
Interesting.
And I think I feel like we're switching roles a little bit, man, because I'm having a second win for season 9, because I actually found a kind of love for this episode, for episode 5.
Okay, yeah.
And I actually really enjoyed episode 6, which was weird, because I actually think they're cringy. I think, a lot of the budget went on, I really do think a lot of the budget went on episodes 3 and 4, because they look good.
3, 4, and I think
And
7 and 8 as well, I think.
And 7 and 8, exactly right.
Yeah, this looked very
This
cheap.
looked kind of cheap. Yeah.
I thought in particular 8, there was a lot of like stuff that I just didn't think looked good. Like I don't know, that they shot most of it cleverly, but
episode 6?
Sorry, 6.
Yeah.
They
Sorry, I
shot
was
most of it
confusing.
cleverly, but then at the end of 6, so they're in like where they got the hangman set up, and they shoot most of it like close-ups or shots that are from Pete's perspective or whatever that look down on the crowd, so you can get away with not seeing too much of the set. But then when they come up, you can see they've obviously just gone to like an old abandoned castle, put up 2 stalls, and then when you start to look like towards the edges of frames and stuff, you can kind of see like it's just a field. It's a field where there's an abandoned castle in the middle, and they've just put these up. And so I reckon this was like a bit of a cheaper episode.
No,
and keeping in mind as well, those sets are probably recycled from episode 1.
Yeah.
That had, when they got the Vikings, Pete sees the Vikings.
That's
and
so
stuff.
funny you say that. And also, I was getting what was I getting as well? I was getting man, that shit fucks your brain up. Hey, I feel like I can't even think straight.
Spicy boy chips.
I don't know what I was going to say,
Oh,
but I was getting vibes from another episode, and I'm not going to give you the point because I can't remember what I was going to say.
Right.
But,
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a good chat. Good
Robot
conversation.
Show. I was going to get like Robot Show
Definitely.
cheap vibes, you know?
Cheap as chips, mate.
Cheap boy
Probably
vibes.
the same castle.
It probably is. Like
There was a
it
great
probably
shot
is.
at the start of part 1
Uh-huh.
where we first enter the village. And it comes down, the score's cool. It's like... That's not even how it goes. But the camera like moves down from the sky and it pans like through this village and
Marvelous
makes its way around. I thought, there's some cool moments of direction
Do you
there.
think Maisie Williams' character is cringe?
Yes. She's like...
Yes, I do.
Thanks for asking.
Yes, I do, actually.
I think in part 2 she's a little bit better, but also like because part 1 she's blatantly trying to act like kind of younger and a little less experienced. Then part 2 she's more mature, which the actor is, and so like she's a little bit better in part 2. You used to be a big Maisie Williams simp, right? Do you used to watch like her YouTube videos, like she do her makeup and stuff, and you were like,
me, I still do.
not-
They doesn't upload anymore. I used to
you would know.
absolutely simp Maisie.
Damn.
Absolutely simper. When I was in like year 8 or 9. Yeah, and to hear that she was in Doctor Who was such a heartwarming,
It was very cool for the show at the time
Statement
because
to
this
hear.
is like peak Game of Thrones
Game of
as well.
Thrones,
Like,
yeah.
this is like season 6, 7 era of Game of Thrones, I think.
Thing. Imagine, I was saying to Kim when we were watching it, well, she wasn't watching it, but I was like, wouldn't it be crazy? Because she's like, oh, it's Maisie Williams. I was like, that's funny how she knows her and she doesn't watch Game of Thrones. And I said to her, wouldn't it be crazy for Maisie to go from a Game of Thrones budget, which is like 10 million per episode,
Doctor
to
Who.
a Doctor Who budget?
Wouldn't it-
Especially if it's kind of the same era almost, because it's like, it's kind of the same era.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Wouldn't
crazy, isn't it?
Wouldn't it be crazy if Doctor Who got that guy from House of the Dragon, the
Matt
Game of Thrones
Smith?
spin-off, Matt Smith, and brought him on?
Have you watched House of Dragon?
I have. I was actually going to talk about that.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this week's big release is House of the Dragon.
Yes.
It's just started streaming on Binge in Australia, and I think it's HBO and stuff in America.
Sky in the UK.
Right. Have you seen this first episode, the pilot?
I have, yeah.
Cool. Interesting, because I don't think it's groundbreaking filmmaking or anything like that, and I think the CGI is much more ropey. It's a pilot episode, and it's season 1 of a show. You kind of expect these things when they go on for these big budget things.
Yep.
But I was intrigued, and I very much wanted to watch more after the first episode. I really enjoyed it.
I actually agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, cool.
I completely agree, actually. Obviously, we've all got a bit of a bad taste in our mouth Wednesday
Yes.
morning Macklemore
Yeah,
style.
I mean, after having these spicy chippies,
And the spicy
we
chippies.
do have a bad
I feel like
taste in our
I can't
mouth.
see straight. I had a bad taste in my mouth. And to be honest with you, if Matt Smith wasn't in it, I would be maybe a little less reluctant to watch it. I might have
Right.
waited for the whole season to come out. But I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. And you know what? I am intrigued for next week. I will watch every week, I think.
It's nice.
You know.
I think we had Better Call Saul recently.
Yeah,
that was weekly.
And
then the week after.
Week by week.
Yeah, and it feels like a long time since we've had week by week stuff. I don't know if we were interrupted with COVID or if like...
Yeah. I think that's a good point.
Because big streaming shows have come out recently, like Stranger Things, and I don't know, like Kenobi was weekly, but
Kenobi.
I didn't watch it weekly though.
Yeah, a Disney show doesn't feel
It doesn't feel
exciting
right.
anymore.
I feel like I'm watching a YouTube video when I'm watching
it doesn't feel exciting,
a Disney
or
show.
like a Marvel show or
It's true.
something like that, like or a Star Wars show.
I feel like we Disney hate all the time. I'm very keen for Andor, but did you watch the trailer?
I don't know. I haven't, Aiden. Because who gives a fuck about Cassian Andor?
I think
Seriously,
he's cool.
who cares?
All right,
he
moving
literally
on.
is such a terrible character. He sucks. Who cares about his story?
Right.
I don't.
Cool.
I'm not watching it.
Good point.
You can quote me on that, everybody. If
That's
I watch
great.
it, you can call me a hypocrite.
Well, you watched fucking The Book of Boba Fett, so we'll see how you go with that one.
Yeah, I watched the Book of Boba Fett because I had nothing else to watch.
Well-
Now I got House of Dragon to watch. And I'm watching the rehearsal of Nathan Fielder.
Oh yeah, that's next on my list. I'm gonna.
Have you watched Nathan for you?
No,
You don't know Nathan? Do you know Nathan?
no,
Field's
I
other
don't know.
work?
I just heard the rehearsal's great, so I'm gonna watch the rehearsal.
You need to watch Nathan for you first.
I've almost finished Barry. Oh, my voice.
How do you find Barry?
Really good for the most part.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
think
really
it's-
love Barry as well.
I think it's slightly because I heard like it's the bee's knees, it's the best shit ever, and so I went into it expecting
Is
I think
that?
a little bit more. I think like you and Dan and a lot of
I
people
just said it
have
was
said
really
that before.
good. Yeah.
And I do think the plot every season gets to a point where it dwindles.
Right.
And it kind of doesn't know where it's going.
Uh-huh.
And it puts characters in different places and you're kind of watching it and you're like, why? Like, why are we doing this? And towards the end of season 3 right now, and everyone's separated and a lot of the plot lines feel like they ran their course in season 2.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like, I don't know how on board I am. I've just got the finale of season 3 to watch.
Such a huge break between season 2 and 3
Yeah.
as well, because that's just when the pandemic hit.
I think there's some great episodes, especially directing wise, because
Yeah.
obviously Bill
Season 2,
Hader directs a
episode
bunch
4.
of them. Season 2, episode 5.
5, yeah.
I assume is the one you're talking about.
Fuck me, that's
where
great.
it's like a fight for the first 10,
Yeah,
15
dude,
minutes.
so
Yeah,
good.
that's great. That's my favorite
so
episode
good.
of the whole show.
Yeah, it's so good.
But sorry, I don't want to butcher the name, but Hidu Midori or something. Big director on Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They direct loads of stuff on Atlanta.
Yeah.
They directed Donald Glover's that like island thing that was like a 45-minute Amazon exclusive. I can't remember what it's called.
He directs some Barry?
Yeah, he directs a bunch of Barry and
Cool.
they've got a bunch of noms for the Emmys.
Do you watch Atlanta? Because I saw today they announced the last season is the 4th season.
Yeah, so we knew
Cool.
that for a while.
Okay, sweet. Because I really, really want to watch it, and I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
yet.
I've been watching it for years.
Yeah, because I know it was very similar to Barry, where like the first 2 seasons came out quite quickly after another, and then there was a huge break.
Well, they were
between
like
2 and 3.
one at like it was kind of standard 1 or 2 like a
Yeah.
year between, but then
There was a massive break between 2. And
yeah,
3.
because it was kind of it was a big great break because I think that's when Gambino was doing his final touring,
Yeah.
and then
Pandemic.
when they finally went to do it, pandemic hit, and
Yeah.
all of season 3 is set in Europe. So it's an American show. So it was like, we can't go to Europe. So they pushed it back, and then they shot 3 and 4 back to back, like together in one block. So that's why the start of this year, season 3 came out, and the back end of this year, season 4 is going to come out. So
yeah, I'm really keen. Because I think they shot. Didn't they shoot season 3 and 4 together?
yeah, I
Okay.
just said that, but that's fine.
Dude, I'm getting fucking sent by the spice.
The spice is fucked,
Did you
man.
just say that?
I did.
Oh my god.
I said they shot 3 and 4 back to back.
Oh god.
Oh no, poor Conor. He's losing his marbles.
I'm sorry, that fucking sent me.
His brain is on fire. Yeah, House of the Dragon, episode 1 out of 10.
Fucking hell. What, out of 10?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I'd say about 7.
Yeah, 7.
It did like feel really nice to be back in Game of Thrones world,
It
right?
did, and I hope they fucking do. I think they've learned from their mistakes.
I think so.
I think they won't hire hacks as
Yeah.
writers anymore.
I think like even just like hearing bits of the score that were big in
I know
Thrones.
that was kind of interesting.
It felt nice, and like the visual look is the same. I think there is. I'd like it to start to differ as the season progresses from being Game of Thrones 2. You know, because it does very much just feel like more of what Game of Thrones
I
gave.
know, it feels like this is what happened. this is like what 200 years before.
Yeah.
It's like this is exactly the same thing, just 200 years prior.
Exactly. Like it's kind of roughly the same plot. One thing that I do like more about this that has a bit more edge to it is it feels a little bit more intimate. Like it seems all based within the one house, whereas Game of Thrones is like seven houses around Westeros, right?
Yes.
This seems very much it's the Targaryen story, right?
I think so,
and I really like that, and I hope, I'm sure there'll be times when the characters are separated, but I do hope it's not like Game of Thrones where it's like characters would go seasons and seasons without seeing each other. Like and people, I saw some like not proper criticism. It's like just people online having a rant. They were like, "Oh, it's so slow and boring compared to Game of Thrones," and I was like, "Excuse me, like Game of Thrones took like 4 seasons to do an action scene." And then also, just like in general, the dialogue is much more snappier. Like the scenes are much more shorter. Game of Thrones would stay on a scene for ages. And, it was often filled with good dialogue and things. And this show, it's not a detriment that it's speedier. It's just a much faster paced show. I don't know what that criticism is about.
No, yeah, I think it's a really cool setup. And I'm keen to watch. And I think, from what I've heard, I know Grace Randolph got sent like the first 5 episodes of the screener, and she seemed to say that like I think once you get into like the halfway point of the season is when you're really gonna start getting invested. Right now, I feel like I'm on that seesaw where I'm like I could be really invested or I might not. So I'm keen to get quite invested in it again. And
it's interesting because I finished episode 1 and I was like, I really want more of this right now. Like I kind of was like, I wish this was like a. I know I'm saying I love the week by week format, but I really was in the mood to binge a few of them back to back.
Stranger Things being,
I am. But then again, like Better Call Saul, I loved weekly, and every time an episode finished, I was like, oh, I can't wait to wait a week for the next one. Whereas this, I was kind of watching it and I was like, okay, I don't care about the waiting. I want to go straight into it.
Yeah, that's a weird argument these days, especially with streaming. I literally had this conversation with my partner's parents last night. They were like, because they watched House of Dragon as well. And I was like talking about what they thought about it, and like, we really, and they were saying the same about Better Call Saul because they watched Better Call Saul.
Cool.
They were saying like, we really hate we have to wait like a week, and I'm like, it's like some people feel that way. I actually like it. And by the way, I know it seems like a while, but the week goes really quickly.
It does.
And then you have something to look forward to, and at least like when you're at work, you have to get to go home to an episode. It's actually really fun. It kind of gets you through the day. I know that what Better Call Saul did on a Tuesday. I was like,
it was so good. Like rushing home from work to put it on, and it would just be like me time. Like I'd be on the phone with Nick in my car on the way back from work, and I'd be like, "Okay, so new episode of Better Call Saul," and she was like, "Cool, so I'll call you in a bit." And I was like, "No, I'm gonna watch Better Call Saul," and she's like, "Okay, I get it."
I do like I love my me time.
Yeah, big time me time.
I got me time tomorrow. I've got all day to
Yeah.
myself. No one home, just me. I'm gonna edit.
That's great.
I've only got tomorrow to edit. So I go on holiday. I'm going on holiday. I'm going to Svantees.
Again.
I got invited.
Look at you
Can I
living your
say
life.
no?
Well, we didn't talk about it on the show. It's been a while since we've seen each other. How you doing?
Yeah, good. I almost died in my river.
Well, yeah. Which is, I keep thinking
died.
like we should.
Did you worry about me?
We should sometimes.
I know that I don't send Aiden Snapchats anymore by nights out because I know you worry a bit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't want to worry.
That coke you were snorting looked pretty crazy.
I do not snort cocaine. I do not snort cocaine.
That's a joke. Okay, so
live show.
So yeah, I keep thinking like we should do like a catch up. Like, how's your week?
I know. I like when you do that because I feel like it connects us to the audience more. We need to do a catch up as well. We were trying to do the catch up tomorrow, but
you were going on holiday 2.0.
It wasn't literally happening until tomorrow.
Well,
like literally yesterday I got like invited. My whole family left today, and then they're like, "Do you and Kim want to come down?" And I was like,
"Thanks for the invite. That's where I am.
If you want to come to Svantees, you can."
Oh no,
2 hours away.
I love Svantees.
And I'm pretty broke after Margaret River. I went there for 5 days, and I shot this video down there. I don't want to say this because like it should be done, but it should be done. So I don't want to say it, but it should be out.
By the time this
I think
podcast
so.
is out.
If it all goes to plan, it will be done tomorrow, and it will be ready to go up on the Sunday, and this comes out on the Monday. So it should be out, and it's actually a really great video, but it demands a lot of editing. The raw file was 40 minutes, and I want it to be under 20 easily. So, it was
chop.
It was quite intense, actually. There was eggs being thrown. There was whipped cream everywhere. There was
crazy video.
Chilies. There was
Coke
salt.
on the table.
There was Coke on the table according to Aiden. Apparently there was.
I haven't even seen this video. I'm just making shit up.
Aiden worries about my health when I go on holiday. So I was
Connor sent me Snapchats at like 6 a.m. being like, I'm still awake.
Yeah, that was one night. 2 nights.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's definitely a couple back-to-back there.
Well, the servo opened at 6.
Yes.
And I was like, I kind of fancy a smoke. And it was like 10 minutes away. So I was like, fuck it. Like, do you want to go? And we were up. So I was like, fuck it. So we walked down and I woke up 2.5 hours later, hopped in a car. I wasn't driving, Mitchell was. And he went to bed before me and Dan, by the way. So no drink driving. Very against that.
Well done.
Drove to Boston like 40 minutes away, which is horrible with a horrible hangover, by the way. And then watched Nope again. And it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
Well, there we go. How was the rest of the trip? Did you? So Margaret River is a beautiful place down south here in Aussie land, in the Western Australian region of Perth. Down south, Margaret River is the go-to spot for a few beers with the gang. Lots of wineries down there. Boys let loose a little bit, that kind of thing.
Yep.
What did you get around to a few wineries? Did you do a bit of nature walks? Look at the serenity because it's very beautiful down there.
At 6 a.m. whilst not sleeping, yeah, I did a nature walk.
Did a nature how?
It was horrible.
So it wasn't like a hike. It was.
We were walking back from the server, and I said, "Dan, do you want to go through like a bush or something?" I was like, "Sure."
Just bushland. Let's walk through it.
Kinda.
We don't need a trail. We'll just go.
Kinda. And I was like, and me and Dad listened to the same podcast, H3 podcast, and I was like, I'll chuck on H3, and I remember putting on 5 minutes and being like, I need to go to bed. Like, I need to go.
Yeah.
Home. I need to go home. Like, I need to go to bed. I knew we were gonna be up early. The show was at 1:30. I was like, it'll be fine, but I got to bed at like 8. So, 9 actually, like 9 o'clock, 9 a.m.
Good.
So I was like, fuck it. But yeah, we didn't really get
time
to
to
go
go to
anywhere.
sleep.
I mean, we've done all that before. This is our third or fourth trip as us boys.
There's always a new hike down there, mate.
I know there is.
And they're nice to go back to. I've done this one hike in Margs.
I know.
3 times.
Yeah.
It's very lovely. It finishes at a waterfall.
I should do that kind of thing, but
it's very nice. It's good for the
I
mind.
just like literally just ate and just drank. Like that was.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. You said on the way here, it's like you didn't have to drink one night, and I was like, that's a good point, but also that just didn't happen. I think we're just a different breed. Like
yeah, right.
One day I woke up, it was like 11 o'clock. I was cracking beers. I was like smoking.
Oh, I love cracking beers in the morning and stuff, but I don't know. I like to.
You get sick of it though.
I did a lovely. I don't know. Me and my group and stuff, and we did Margs in Feb. We did a few hikes, and a few of the boys went out on kayaks and things like that. And actually, only a couple of us made it the whole way because some of them went hard, and they're like kayaking like fucking crazy, like Broads, big tank boy. He's like, oh, fucking, this is easy, boys.
He gassed himself out.
Oh, mate, he was dead. He barely got back.
Wow.
And we're like, yeah, we'll turn around in 10 minutes. And then we went for like an extra hour on the kayaks. We went so deep into this creek in the end. It was like getting so tight with like trees coming down that we literally would go under and we'd have to like lie back to have the trees like go over the top of us and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
You're quite more adventurous than me though.
Sure.
Like.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying this is something that you need to do.
You really love your like you love to adventure out, I feel like.
To quote the Australian the WA marketing team, like a good old wander out yonder.
Wander out yonder.
That's it.
I feel like I've done my
You're wandering.
Yeah. No, I could do more wandering, but I kind of me going down to Mike River is like I'm too far away from my responsibilities to worry about them. All I got to worry about is just getting back to my room safely. Yeah, and that's it.
At least you've got that on the cards. You know that's a priority.
That's it. And then when I go down to Cervantes, that's more the time I embrace nature, but with a beer in my hand. There has to be a beer there.
Yeah,
and then
I respect a beer.
I embrace nature but yeah, needless to say, I was very keen to come home because it got to the fourth day, like I was saying to you, and I just felt like I was gonna fucking die. I felt like my body was shutting down. We're watching the Freo game at the pub, and I just felt awful.
How good?
Awful.
How well?
Well, they did great. Freo did great, but I felt awful.
Yeah, did you? We'll keep this very quick because I'm so aware that the UK listeners are listening.
Did
like,
we even
what the
talk the
fuck
episode?
is Freo? We'll get to. But my AFL team has got through to the grand final. Great comeback on the weekend, right?
Hey, our team.
Did you watch the full game?
I did, yeah.
Mate, we were down like
I was down the pub.
30 points.
Yeah, Mitch was like, this is over. I was like, have hope.
No, mate. There's always hope. Frio's third quarter. That's where it all comes back. That's where we get the win. And it's good to see the boys turn up. Michael Walder's 200 game, and it was a good result, good comeback. And here's to the finals. I got my final ticket
Nice.
and hopefully we win. We don't get eliminated. Yeah. Unlike soccer, we have finals. So our top 8 go through the finals and they play off. See who's gonna win.
Yeah.
I was amazed playing FIFA and seeing that there wasn't a finals. I finished 6th in my league and I was like,
That is weird.
ready for finals. And then they were like, no, you're done. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. FIFA, like the whole FIFA thing is weird. Like I can't wrap my head around it. AFL, I'm still kind of wrapping my head around.
Are you getting more into it? Because I know you said you're not an AFL.
Only I think since our team is doing
So
well.
it is our team now.
Yeah.
So you're into it now.
It is. It's always been like my team. I just never watched it. Like,
Right.
you had to pick a team, and that's the team I picked.
Cool.
But I guess so. Like I'll be watching the game next week. For sure.
Freo versus the Doggies.
The dogs
Should get that win.
Oh.
Oh, sold out in about an hour. Well, no, in
Yeah.
a few minutes, actually.
Well-
It's sold out in a few minutes.
You never know what's going to happen. I think, and if it doesn't happen, everyone's going to go fucking nuts.
Well,
If they do,
the
everyone's
boys,
going to go nuts.
the boys haven't been in finals since, like, not just the grand final. They haven't played finals at all since 2015. So this team only has a few players that have played finals in it. So they're inexperienced. I'm not expecting the big win at the end of the day, but I do think they can make it through. And I'd love the win at the end. I'd love the big grand final win. But we got 4 rounds to go through. They did everything they could.
It's always next year as well.
And that's the thing. It's like they need that experience under the belt. I don't necessarily know that they're going to get it this season.
They're like the 4th youngest team or something like that.
They're so young. Like all the players are winning like the 22 under 22, which is like the best young players and stuff. And so I'm expecting possibly a win maybe next season, a grand final win. But this is like just ride the journey, get through
Get
few
the experience and shit.
Get that, because the pressure changes in finals footy, man. It's intense.
Yeah.
It's such a fast sport compared to a lot of other sports.
I think my issue with AFL is that like when I came to Australia, I was so anti like Australian shit, and I think that kind of hit me.
Fuck the
a bit.
kangaroos.
Yeah, I was kind of anti it. Now I think I'm less of a twat about it. One thing I will say though, after going and watched that game, was when we went back and filmed that video, which was like, and I keep this. If I can say one thing, keep this in mind when you watch the video. We were feeling worse for wear.
Right. Rough.
Yeah.
Few too many beers for the boys.
No. Never too many for the boys.
Never.
Never, man.
Can't stop,
Never.
won't stop.
I'm a machine.
All right. Shall we talk a little bit about
It will
part
stop
2?
one day.
Because we talked briefly about
What
part
did you
1.
quickly think about him using the whole thing on the shoulder? It kind of felt so rushed.
The immortality thing. Yeah, it was rushed and just not necessarily my...
Cup of tea.
Yeah, I just kind of... I don't know. He had that revelation. He's like, I'm the doctor. I need to be reminded. I need to hold myself accountable. And I was like...
I'm a doctor.
Good on ya.
And I save people. Great.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, well, he did good acting. And he saved his shoulder. And I'm like, this is an interesting plot. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. And she comes back quite a lot. She comes back next episode. She comes back Face the Raven. She comes back Hellbent.
Hellbent, man. Hellbent.
Comes back quite a lot. We get quite a bit of Maisie.
Also known as me. How at the start of part
So
2,
dumb.
where
someone else
Pete
here?
goes, a shoulder, and she goes, it is me. And she takes off her mask, and I'm like,
Oh, God. This is what I mean by it's cringe.
no.
Yes. It is me.
It is me.
What took you so long, old man? I remember that was in the trailer. What took you so long, old man? Everyone was
Yeah.
like theorized. Everyone thought it's Susan. It's Susan.
Yeah.
It's Susan. It's her. It's her.
I've not thought about that in years.
It's her.
Everyone thought Susan was going to be in it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What took you so long, old man?
Old man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Do you think part 2 is better than part 1? Because I think part 2 is better than part 1.
I think I need to rewatch it. I know this is a rewatch podcast.
Are you gonna rewatch it though?
No.
Exactly. When are you gonna rewatch it?
I was just so disengaged
years?
with both. I just could not get into them.
Wow.
And I watched them in my prime time spot for getting into stuff. Like first thing in the morning with a coffee, a bit of brekkie, and could not get into it.
Bacon and eggs.
Mate, just a yogurt and a coffee.
Okay.
That's it.
That's not really a breakfast. Some yogurt.
That's my daily routine.
Isn't yogurt like a fry up? Yogurt. What am I saying?
Yeah, I fry my yogurt, man.
I'm gonna stop. Okay.
No, daily routine: yogurt, coffee, sit down, watch 30-minute episode of Barry, and then get to work. Either get down to the office or get off to the freelance work. But yeah, so I don't know. That's my daily routine. That's what's your morning routine, Connor?
Alarm goes off at 6.
Yep.
Get up at 6:30. Well, it depends if I'm at the missus or not. I got like a 30-minute drive from hers, so if I get a 30-minute ahead of myself if I'm at hers or mine, I can't just wake up. I don't eat breakfast, which is bad.
So you're like talking shit because I'm eating a yogurt for breakfast, but you don't eat breakfast at all.
I'm not talking shit about you eating yogurt. I'm just saying
there was definitely some shit talking going on there.
You said that it was like you acted like you said I sat down on my breakfast. Yeah, like you're sitting down on a fucking plate. You're eating a fucking yogurt, which I assume you hold in your hand.
I do.
Yeah. Is it like a little
What
thing?
else am I gonna...
No, I mean like, is it in a bowl or...
No, I just got my little tubs.
That's what I mean, a tub.
Just my baby little singular tub
That's what I mean.
for me to have.
Okay.
A little bit of Greek yogurt.
I'm not hating on
Bit of
yogurt.
banana in there.
I like
Bit of-
yogurt, but...
Sometimes a bit of lemon.
Bit
in
of
there.
honey?
No.
No. Honey and yogurt's...
You don't eat... I don't
honey
allow
and
sugar
Greek...
in my breakfast.
No, honey is actually a really good sugar substance.
I'm sure it is,
It really
but
is. It's like natural.
Not for me. Well, I usually have like strawberries in it or
Greek
or
yogurt and
banana.
a bit of honey. Oh, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you can't.
I'm not trying to sound my breakfast expert, but like
You don't eat breakfast.
I should eat breakfast, but like I don't. Something about waking up and eating food just kind of turns me off.
It's great. I love watching like an episode of Barry in the morning.
I don't know if I could watch something in the morning. I'm too tired.
That's good.
You're an early bird. I'm not.
How are you feeling about 45 minutes after having them chippies, them spicy chips?
You want me to do another one?
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll do another one.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
You're hooked, mate. It's your new drug.
I can do another one if you want me to.
Oh, you can have a pick. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like, I think, like, we're here for the show. Like, I gotta show. That was like a fucking shit one to grab.
Yeah.
We're here for the show. Like, I gotta entertain the crowds.
That's it.
I got
They
the same
gotta-
piece here. I got.
They're very picky about what chip you're gonna have.
Well, they're not all in like the same. Like, they're not in the fucking. They're not all like together. All right, there you go. All right.
All right. Well, part 2 of this wonderful adventure, I thought looked very cheap. Wasn't on board with. There was also a really, and this could have been like just on the Blu-ray or something, but there was a really big goof of the week, where there was like the lion's eyes lit up at one point, and like it made like a lens flare across the screen.
Yeah.
But and I don't mean it faded out, but it cut off before the edge of frame. I don't know how to explain this to you, like any better. Like the VFX literally like cut off in a sharp line, like before it should have. Yeah, like, and it was like this much, like a tiny little bit, like it really, but like a noticeable amount, like a centimeter away from the edge of frame.
Okay.
So it was, which is totally irrelevant because depending on the size of the screen you're watching on, 1 centimeter could be 1 millimeter, but yeah, it's noticeable. It was just lots of cheap shit. How you going? I thought I'd talk whilst you soak in the chip.
That one was worse.
Oh, you're struggling.
Yeah, that one was fucking worse, hey?
Well, look, we've all had a few. Well, I've had 1. You've had 2.
Fuck, it doesn't help that my beer's disgusting. That's the only thing I've got.
So yeah, part 2 didn't do a lot for me. I thought the line thing was weird. Well, it's just annoying because I did used to like it, and I like the setting, but I don't know. And
it's a tortured ride too.
Yeah,
That's
Catherine
my comment for this.
Trigana.
Fuck this.
That's I was kind of soaked in the ship. Well,
Fuck, that's hot.
I thought like, I don't know. I just thought the plot didn't really. It was very convenient. Like it's like, oh, this diamond thing that it's gonna open a portal so that we can run away, but it can only happen if someone dies.
I know what that was about.
But also, you know what I also didn't understand was at the end, right? The portal's closing. because they're fucked off. They've won. They've saved the day. Portal's closing, and the Leonardo guy disintegrates. So they're like, oh, they must have killed him, right? They've activated something within him that's made him burn up. Which one doesn't really make sense.
Ship.
Yeah, but two, it's like you've just killed Leonardo. Why not use Leonardo as your way in? Because they saved the day by Maisie putting on the immortality thing on Sam Swift. So he's going to live forever. So they need a new sacrifice to die so the portal opens. You're literally killing Leonardo.
Right.
Can't you just find a way to...
Was it just a human death or a death?
That's very specific. This alien race needs a human death to activate their portal.
Fuck me, that's hot.
He's spicy chippy.
Ooh. That's weird. That one hit me so much harder.
I like Maisie's theme for me. Dun, dun, dun,
I like Maisie.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I actually thought that Murray did a really good job.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, I agree. What do you think of we saw the plague sequences and stuff like that? Do you like that?
I think they did a good job at kind of showing time passing.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Though again, cringe
cheap
and wacky
and cheap as chips sequences.
Ow.
How are you coping?
I don't know what it is. Is there a bit of I don't know, chili powder at the bottom or something?
Maybe. I didn't put it there.
I feel like...
Mate, I'd get my hand in and out of that bag as fast as I could.
That's what I mean. Is it residue at the bottom or something?
Probably. Most chips usually have a bit of salt or something at the bottom of the bag.
So I don't know, because I don't normally eat that kind of thing.
Oof. I wish
that one was weird, because that one had that one had a quarter missing from what I had last time. And that one was fucking...
But it's hit you harder?
100%.
That's rough.
Fuck, that's hot.
The pain rating out of 10?
Good 8.
Good 8. It's not
8.5.
quite. Want to make it a 10? Have another.
I think if I had another right now, that would...
Why are you wearing a jumper?
Cold, isn't it?
Bruh. That shit's so spicy. I'm sorry. If I get hot, my jumper is straight off.
Yeah, normally me too. But it's quite cool in here, isn't it? Remember we used to sweat in here?
I'm looking forward to a little bit of weather update, like we seem to do every... Fucking just knock the table over. Every episode we seem to do a bit of a weather update. Very warm today. Took my lovely little dog out for a walk, and it was very nice. And me and little Gem. Nick calls her Gem, so I call her Gem now. Apparently, it's
Gem.
Me and little Gem. We run around. She went off the leash for a little bit, and in the park doing a bit of a run. And it's lovely weather today, I thought. And so for once, you don't hear the rain in the background.
Yeah, I feel like when we filmed our first episode this year, which was our Hyde review, it was so hot in here.
Well, we did film that.
Sweat was down my back.
Literally middle of summer, January.
December.
And we shot it at 1 or 2 p.m. We shot that one during the day. So that was bound to be hotter, whereas, we're shooting at night time.
the first of this year. Sorry.
Yes. So, yeah, we actually shot that in December.
And that was fucking hot as.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to summer, though, to be honest.
Imagine doing that in the heat.
No chance. You know what we'll do in summer?
What?
I don't know, ALS Ice Bucket Challenge onto ourselves so that we can feel that cold in the heat.
What a throwback to, or a throw forward to my video I made in Margaret River.
Do you throw ice on you in Margaret River?
The Ice Cup Challenge.
You know what ice is also called?
It's called mine now.
Cocaine.
Is it? Is it?
Isn't it? Or is that heroin?
No, I think ice is
I don't know.
meth.
I don't do drugs.
Isn't ice meth?
Conor, the woman who died, the girl who lived as 1 story out of 10.
Yeah.
What are you going to rate it? You are struggling right now.
Oh, wait. I do always 1 score?
Just 1 score, mate.
I swear, didn't we last week do...
Conor, we have this conversation almost every time we do a
last week, didn't we do...
Nah, 1 score, mate. 1 score.
Why do I always forget that?
You do. Every time. 1 score for these 2 episodes. What is it?
7 3/4.
7.75. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
More like 3 out of 4, but yeah.
Okay. What? Is that? Yeah. Okay.
3/4.
I'm going to give this 5.5. Because I don't quite...
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking at my scores, and I'm like, 6 for Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar, was like... I was still kind of engaged, especially with part 1, right? Both parts of this episode, I was literally like... God, what I would give to do anything other than be sat here right now.
Wow.
You know?
That's really low.
That's also kind of why I think I've just not been wanting to talk about these episodes, because I was not impressed by anything
So
other than
it was a good day to do the nuclear fucking corn chips.
nuclear corn chips. Yeah, man. They're good. We should have read out the TNCs before we ate them for everyone.
Don't eat on an empty stomach if you are allergic to chili or capsicum, if you are sensitive to spicy foods, if you have a cardiac condition, if you have gastro problems, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, if any other medical conditions.
Yeah, well, there we go.
I guess the only way to end this
them.
is for you to do one more as well.
I don't know if I can do one more. I don't know if I need to.
Can you do a half?
You're the other half.
Okay. Okay.
Winning. Oh, this sucks. Why are you going to do this to me?
Are you kidding me? I'm saying you got to do one more half.
Connor, I signed up for us having one each. You happily went. I said it's your choice to have number 2.
Alright, don't do that. Just be boring for the show.
Oh, fuck. You know me. I can't be boring. Give me that fucking chip.
Alright, you can pick a small
Give me
one, and you can pick the smallest one, snap it, I'll do the other half. Fuck's sake, why am I doing it? Oh god. Yeah, that's small.
And snap
That's small. Yeah, snap it in half, unless you want to do the whole one yourself. Not be a pussy.
it. Fine.
Hey! There you go.
Oh, no. Now we're cool, man.
We good? I love how you're nearly out of gin, which is the best bit.
Big bowl of water right here, mate.
Got a few goats if you want some.
Goat. Yeah, it sounds like they did really well for you. Yeah, so a 5.5 out of 10 for me, 7.75 out of 10 for Connor. Yeah, this was definitely a weird episode. Connor said off air, between recordings at one point there, he said, I feel like I've just smoked a joint.
Yeah.
And
Not
yeah.
I've ever done that.
No. Don't do drugs, kids.
This is a really drug-filled episode. Fuck.
No sponsorships for this episode.
This is one for the sponsors.
But, it's been a weird one.
Yeah.
It's been a weird one.
Do you feel like that one hurt more than the first one? Yeah, why is that?
Faster as well.
Mine hurt more, and it was smaller. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Hey, should I take the show? Thank you for watching, everybody. You can follow us on Instagram at 50doctor.
Thank you.
On Instagram and Twitter. Follow us on socials at... Wait, what do you normally say?
You're so bad at this.
Fuck you. I'm so bad at this. You're bad at this.
At 50 Doctor on Twitter and Instagram, on YouTube, the 50% Doctor Who podcast.
You can follow us on Twitter at GreedyPro, at Helen Connor.
Greeny_pro.
Hey, Aiden's going through the... Are you going to go upstairs and, like, be pissed? Because, like, you feel
Maybe.
like you went through your gins really quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like I would go through my beer quickly if it wasn't this disgusting goat beer, which my mum gave to me. Thank you, mum, for giving me them, but, like... Not that you watch, but... Do your parents watch the show?
No.
Okay.
They always say maybe we should, and I'm like, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, you should link them this one. Yeah. My dad's subscribed, but he hasn't watched. And I don't think my mum knows what a podcast is.
My name is Aiden.
I'm Connor.
We're the 50%
Doctor
Who podcast. Yay!
Wow, you sound really into it.
I'm in pain, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like my mouth is about to drop off.
Wow.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50 Doctor, the Doctor Who YouTube channel, Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel. And I've been Aiden.
I'm Connor. You just repeated yourself now. You already said
And
it.
this is the 50% Doctor Who podcast. Let's sing our song,
Are you
baby.
going to do another one for the outro?
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50 Doctor. Follow us on YouTube, the 50% Doctor Who podcast. And I've been Aiden.
I've been Connor.
We're the 50% Doctor Who
Why are you repeating yourself?
Didn't you say you want to do another one for the outro? Isn't that what you just said?
No, I mean, I thought we could do another half of the outro.
No, I'm done.
I'm
I'm done.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I thought you'd love that.
I thought you were asking me to repeat myself.
No, I
again.
mean, I was jokingly saying, do you want to do another half of the podcast, the outro?
No, well, that was.
And then suffer off air.
Yeah, well, now everyone's suffered listening
Yeah,
to that.
off air is where all the fun things happen.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking punch up. Connor's gonna flip the table. He's gonna be like, "Why did you make me eat the fucking chips?"
There hasn't been a punch up yet off air. Yeah. I've been Connor.
I've been Aiden.
And you can find us on socials at 50doctor. Is that it? I just heard you say it 3 times. I still got it wrong.
On the
Follow us
Twitter and
on
Instagram,
socials.
at 50 Doctor. And on YouTube at the 50 Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel. Let's sing our song, Connor. People
Well,
have heard too much of us.
All right. Cheers. It's
Aiden and Connor's podcast. We're doing spicy Who reviews. Doing spicy Who reviews.
Hey, yeah, spicy Who.
That's a weird episode, isn't it?
Yeah, why do you reckon?
I don't know. There was just something very like in the water.
Are you out of it?
No, I
You got
felt
secret
strong.
beef with me?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
do
it?
actually.
Is it like some unresolved beef
Yeah, I do.
that we need to resolve on a
Yeah.
punch up?
Look, man,
Okay.
I know we don't have to agree on Gavin and Stacey.
Oh,
but you have to say